Hello everyone, my name is Chris and welcome to my Sniper Critical Hit VATS build in Fallout New Vegas. This build will allow you to essentially one or two shot most enemies with or without VATS and utilising sneak critical hits. This build can be incredibly powerful, and although you don't need to use sniper rifles, it certainly helps as most sniper rifles have a higher crit damage than most other weapons. As always, there are timestamps in the description if you wish to skip to a particular section, but without further ado, let's get into the video. First up, we'll have our special stats. I'll explain why the stats are the way they are for each stat. First up, we'll need 5 into strength. This is mainly used for the weapon handling requirements, as you will need to be able to use all the starter weapons with no problem. For the mid to late weapons that require 6, we will be getting the strength implant later on, so there's no problems for that. And finally, for weapons such as the anti-material rifle that needs 8, we will grab a perk that will reduce the strength requirement to 6. Next, we'll need 6 into perception, mainly for essential perks that require 6 or more into that stat. These perks will include sniper and better criticals. Next, we'll keep endurance at 5 to be able to take some moderate hits if detected, but will also allow us to take perks such as toughness. Next, we'll put charisma down to 1. Charisma is essentially useless and not needed unless you want a higher speech skill and you are planning on using it for dialogue checks. Next is intelligence at 6. This is mainly for a little more points per level up. Next is agility at 8. This will not only buff our guns and sneak skill, which is what we will mainly be relying upon, but will also allow us to grab more essential perks such as sniper and nerves of steel. Finally, our luck skill and the most important skill for this build will be at 9. This will increase our critical hit chance, which is what our damage output relies on. This also pairs well with perks such as finesse and is more than enough for nerves of steel. Next up, for your tag skills, this one is fairly straightforward. We're going with guns, as you'll most likely be using ballistic weapons, repair to keep our gear in the best condition, and sneak for that sneak boost. Finally, we have traits. Upon choosing your traits, there will be 2 options for this, and it is up to you on which one you want to go with. The first trait we will choose is skilled. Skilled is one of the best traits, and I think most builds should choose it regardless of what playstyle they choose. The second trait I think should be either built to destroy or good natured. Built to destroy is a good option due to the plus 3% chance to critical hit a target. The 15% decay may seem bad, but once you acquire perks such as jury rigging, it doesn't become a problem. The second option of good natured will be a good option also. As well as increasing stats by a further 5 points, the reduction of weapon skills is offset by the skill trait, meaning it results in a net positive result. Before you leave, make sure to loot Doc Mitchell's house of any valuables that we can sell or use before we begin our playthrough. Once out of Doc Mitchell's house, we will start the tutorial to grab a Varmint rifle with sunny smiles.
Now, see the sarsaparilla bottles on the fence there? That's the red.
Once done, we can go with her to hunt the geckos around the water sources for additional free ammo. After that is done, head to chat and sell all the items you're not going to use. It is possible to buy a 9mm pistol scope as well as all free mods for the Varmint rifle from chat. If he does not have the mod you want, exit the shop, wait 48 hours and speak to him again where his shop will refresh. Next we'll go to Goodsprings, meet up with Trudy, fix her radio and offer to help Ringo.
Yeah, I heard it turn right back on after you got done tinkering with it. Here's some caps for the work.
It's up to you if you decide to help Ringo or the powder gang is here. Convince whoever you can and start the fight. Depending on which side you take, loot all of the valuables and sell them to chest for more caps. After leveling up, make sure you have a medicine skill of 30. I messed up on this choice, but I easily fixed it later on with a magazine. More than likely this is where you will level up, where you can choose your first perk, which I would recommend Rapid Reload. This will help particularly with rifles that are bolt action, but is a good perk to take for snipers nonetheless. Next we'll head on over to the cemetery, pick up the snow globe and head a little ways past the threshold where you can rebuild your character. We can take advantage of the glitch where you retake your traits, take skilled once more and it will grant a further plus 5 to all skills again. Once you reach level 4, take the educated perk for more skill points per level. From Wolfhorn Ranch, head east until you come across the Brock Flower Cave. Head inside and keep taking the right hand path until you get to a cliffside. Head through, kill the giant rats infesting the cave and you will come across a small hideout. Leaning against the desk will be the unique Varmint rifle Ratslayer. This weapon will serve you well when it comes to sneak crits. It is a unique Varmint rifle equipped with all the Varmint rifle mods and boasts a crit chance multiplier of 5. Very early on we can make this weapon score a critical hit with every single shot, making this weapon highly effective early on. During your levels up to level 10, you'll want to take either toughness for the DR increase or the bloody mess perk for the 5% overall damage increase at level 6. At level 8 you'll want to take the Commando perk for the higher accuracy with two-handed weapons in VATS. And once at level 10 you'll want to take the Finesse perk, which is another essential perk for this build. Finesse will add another 5% bonus to your critical hit chance. Once at Novak, enter the Dino D Light, lockpick the floor safe and loot the bill of sale. Next we'll wait until night, speak to Boone and offer to help him with finding the person who sold his wife into slavery. Bring Jenny Mae Crawford to the front of the Dino statue and allow Boone to kill her. Bring him the bill of sale where you will get the first Recon Beret. This piece of armour not only grants 1 into perception but also adds another +5 bonus to your critical hit chance. With your luck at 10, which we will do shortly, the Beret and the Finesse perk, you can hit a critical hit with the Ratslayer on every single hit. Adding sneak critical hits into the mix and you won't have a problem with the majority of the enemies you encounter on your way to Vegas. Once we take a quick stop to Boulder City, if you want a better rifle early on and wish to sell it, head on over to Boulder City train station. Head behind the train on the track and on the floor next to a skeleton will be a free hunting rifle for you to take. If you head to the Gunrunners outside Freeside, you can also purchase a hunting rifle scope, turning it into a sniper if you have the caps. Once at Freeside, head to the Atomic Wrangler and play Blackjack. With your luck at 9, you won't have a problem of getting banned not only in the Wrangler but every casino. Once done, head into every single casino on the strip and become banned, which will result in you acquiring over 30,000 caps. Now with more than enough caps on hand, head on over to the New Vegas Medical Clinic and purchase the Strength, Intelligence, Agility and Luck implants. With your luck at 10 and the rest of the perks and equipment obtained, you will now score a critical hit on every single hit with Ratslayer. With the rest of your caps, if you have the Gunrunners arsenal, you can head on over to the Gunrunners and purchase the anti-material rifle and ammo for it. With the equipment and weapons already acquired, you'll focus on leveling up your character by carrying on the story and doing side quests in whatever order you wish. I'd recommend maxing out your gun skill and then either sneak or repair. After they are all maxed out, you can then pick any skills you wish to increase. Once at level 12, grab the Sniper perk, increasing your chances of hitting a target in the head in VATS. Additionally, although not necessary, you can also grab the Silent Running perk. I find it's a quality of life perk where you won't need to be sneaking the majority of the time to get within range of a target. At level 14, make sure to grab the Jury Rigging perk, which does require a repair of 90 but isn't difficult to acquire. This will allow you to keep all of your equipment in high condition, which is even more important if you took the Built to Destroy trait. At level 16, there are 2 essential perks you should take. The first is Better Criticals, which will allow you to deal 50% more damage upon a critical hit. This pairs well with Ratslayer as it essentially works as a permanent damage buff. The second is Weapon Handling. This perk will decrease the strength requirement of all weapons by 2 points, and with your strength implant increasing your strength to 6, you will acquire the strength requirement for every single ballistic rifle in the game. At level 18, you should take Concentrated Fire. This allows you a 5% increased hit chance for subsequent hits of a target's body part in VATS. This combines very nicely with Commando and Sniper. At level 20, you should take Grim Reaper's Sprint. Although not as overpowered as the Fallout 3 version, the perk will still restore 20 AP upon killing your targets in VATS. The final must-have perk will be available at level 26, which is Nerves of Steel. The perk will allow you to recover your AP at a faster rate, which pairs nicely with Grim Reaper's Sprint and will help you use VATS that little bit more often if you didn't finish a target off. Before we finish this build, I will also briefly talk about heading to the Divide to start the Lonesome Road DLC. You don't need to be at the level suggestion to get through Lonesome Road. It's worth fighting through the silo, gathering any items of value, which most of them are, and selling them at the commissaries. As a side note, using Stealth Boys to score sneak critical hits on the sentry bots and turrets will also help immensely. If you run the commissaries out of caps, simply leave an area, head back and the commissaries will refill. Make your way through the Divide until you get onto the Sunstone Tower roof. Head down the scaffolding, head through the gap in the rocks where you detonate a warhead, causing a ruined building to collapse. Turn left, head up the rubble ramp to the building, head through the sewers and exit onto the upper floor of the building. On the ground will be a dead soldier and on his corpse will be the elite Riot gear and helmet. The Riot armor will grant a +5 to your critical hit chance, the same as the first Recon Beret, as well as increasing your gun skill by 10 and your charisma by 1. The helmet is also good for protection but isn't necessary and you may want to keep the first Recon Beret on. And there we have my Sniper Critical Hits VATS build within Fallout New Vegas. I hope you find this video helpful, and as always, thank you for watching.